Peekaboo! What's going on, YouTube? Didn't mean to scare your ears down. It'd be all day. I know you were thinking, where'd he go? Where'd he go? So, listen, this is going to be a real short, real quick one. All right, it's over. So, I had a guy who was interested in one of these. The Condor Undertaker buoy. Oh, so nice. And he was concerned about the grip, so he was saying, you know, well, what about this guy right here? The Condor Dundee buoy, Condorio. The Condor Dundee buoy. He wanted to know, grip for grip, what should he expect and which one would be a better grip in the hand. Now, this knife, brand spanking new, haven't even brought it to you yet, haven't taken it out, haven't tested it, but I did put it in my hand, so I do have an idea of what it feels like. Here's the deal. When we're talking about one knife versus another knife, you got to remember that it's one hand versus another hand as well. So my hands are huge, and they might not be the same as yours. So now, grip for grip. Whoo, dog, I love holding these in my hand. First of all, knife for knife. What? Same thickness too. So you're looking at a coffin style grip right here, and I use some beeswax on mine, and that's why it is freaking beautiful. And I have to say that it's a very, very comfortable grip. Now, being the coffin style, it looks like anytime it should just shoot out of your hand. And I'm pretty sure if I did this with wet hands or whatever, it probably would eventually. But you know, holding it into a grip and having a good grip on it, especially while you're pushing your hand into that handguard, the grip is actually pretty well. It feels good. Plus the fact that you have a gigantic lanyard hole, so you can strap it down if you want. But as far as overall grip with just nothing else, you know, no special nothing, no wet hands, dry hands, just regular everyday conditions. The size of the grip is nice and thin. And even with gigantic hands, you can wrap your fingers all the way around it and get a really nice, comfortable feel on this grip. When you're talking about this grip, man, I am glad that I have big hands, because this grip right here is, look at this. It is made for a jumbo mitt. And that's one of the things that's going to be important when you're talking about this knife, is you want to make sure that if you have little tiny hands, I mean, who knows? You're going to have your whole hand is going to be full. I guarantee you that. If you have little hands, this is going to fill your hand. But just lengthwise, the width of your hand, right? The width of your hand, and I mean, compared to, you know, this blade, how wide my hand is, you can see it's half as wide as this blade. So I have a very wide hand, and it fills that very good. If you have shorter hand, you know, not wide hands, your grip is going to be either way up top or way at the bottom. Way at the bottom, like if I hold here and I wanted to do some chopping, that's exactly what I would do. I would just knuckle up around this, around the curvature at the end, and boop, boop, boop. That's where I would do my chopping from. Why chop here when you have it, you know, a nice grip down here? And I think that's what the reasoning for in this elongated grip is, so you can break it down and hold it very low, or if you're doing, you know, tighter work, you can hold it very high. But I will tell you this, if you have bigger hands, this is going to fit pretty well. If you have smaller hands, this is going to fit very well. And medium hands, they're both going to fit good in a different way. This grip is small. It's small as far as diameter, right? I mean, you can see how thin it is compared to this one. But here's the deal. This one is wood with an exposed tang. And with, you know, with either of these, you can go ahead and take a Dremel and put whatever contouring you want. So if you said, man, I really wish this had finger grooves to really hold my hand, all right, get a file. get a half round file and just go zip, 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 zip in every area you want to finger hold. And voila, this thing is going to hit your hand and fit your hand absolutely perfect. With this one, if you take a Dremel, you could do Rocky Mountain tread or anything like that. You could do cross patterns, and you can make yourself a really nice grip here. Now, this being a plastic, but bumpy plastic, you can see it's textured, right? It's still fairly smooth, and I'm assuming when it gets wet, it's going to get a little slippery. I haven't tested this yet. This one, it's wood, so you know what to expect. Wood is absorbent, so when you sweat, it's going to sweat into the wood, and you will be able to maintain some kind of grip. Just don't let it stay wet, because then it'll get slimy, right? So grip for grip, and this was what the question was, which do I prefer? And while it's kind of hard for me to say because I haven't tested this one, so prefer in use, I would have to say this one because I've already used it and I know what the grip is like in use. I haven't used this one. What do I prefer as far as a grip? Just holding it without doing anything. I think I like the Undertaker's grip better. It just has a really nice classic feel. It's just tight in the hand. It sits well. It wraps inside the creases in my knuckles. You know, I got the crease at the end of my palm to my first knuckle bend right there. It gives me a nice, really good feel, where this is more of a round grip, so you don't get that lock inside with the square edges, right? So I hope it answers your question. If it came down to, without using it, if it came down to just what do I like the feel of better as far as grip, I do like the wooden grip better than the plastic grip, and it would take nothing to customize both. But I mean, really, if I wanted to throw some finger grooves in here or even some kind of treading, I can do that very, very simply. So that's it. I'll be bringing this one to you guys soon. Hope that answered the question. Ooh, you gotta love it. I'm Donnie B all day. Until next knife.